Hey everyone, welcome to my movie collection. These are all my movies. Hey everyone, it's Prism's Collection Corner here, and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to discuss something that's been on my mind for a little while. It's been in my mind periodically for the last few months. It comes and goes, but it's simple. You can notice from my updates that I am not prioritizing Disney VHS as much. I actually am kind of going away from collecting VHS entirely. Now, not completely at the moment, because, I did just pick up the Sword in the Stone 88 pressing. I still think it's cool to have this, but it's way less cool than, say, picking up this collector's edition here of King Kong. Which, I haven't seen King Kong yet, but, I get all these bonus features. I'd rather have this than this. If I had to choose, I'd rather have this DVD over this VHS. And, well, what am I trying to say simply? That I think I'm growing out of VHS collecting. I'm gonna be honest. In a few years, I don't know how many exactly, I am wanting to move on to a full-time college. I am wanting to move away from where I live, and I would rather carry along my DVD collection and Blu-ray collection, 4K, whatever it is, than my VHS collection. And, I've done this a little bit. You might have noticed on my eBay store I've been trying to sell off Disney tapes, the Castle in the Sky, Kiki's Delivery Service. I sold those off. And I immediately took the profits and I used it to fund me buying new DVDs and Blu-rays. Now, that might sound weird, like, why are you doing that? Well, because I'd rather have that. I would rather be able to sell a Disney tape I don't care much about and put the money I get from it into buying a DVD that I really do care about. Like, for example, or let me state this first. VHS collecting is cheap. You find these things at Goodwills, like Sword in the Stone. Found that at Salvation Army for $1.50. That's really cool. But it's just a VHS tape. It isn't how I want to go on anymore. I have plenty of Disney VHS. I have plenty of them. I can pull out one right here. This is a DTV Disney Golden Oldies. This is pretty cool. I do like having these, but I'm not in the game as much as I used to be. I'm not in the game of I want to order a bunch of Disney tapes or a VHS lot. I'm in the game of I'd rather buy a DVD, a cool collector's edition like the Supergirl Director's Cut. I think this is a really cool piece of, movie to have. This has the Director's Cut, the International Cut, and some bonus features. And I paid $18 for this. And I can use it. I can watch bonus features. It can be a copy that I own of the movie Supergirl. It's a pretty cool release. And I like the artwork. And, I like the VHS artwork too. There are some very great VHS designs, especially when it comes to horror or all sorts of types of films on VHS. I'm not saying artwork is a new thing to DVD. What I am saying is, though, that I'm kind of getting tired of collecting VHS. Let me give you a scenario. When I go to the Salvation Army, I'm not disappointed when there's only a few new tapes added. I'm disappointed when there's no new DVDs added. It's great to pick up one or two new titles if there's something really cool. It's great to, say, go to the Bird Street Thrift and find 5 new VHS. Maybe a movie I've never seen. But where's that tape gonna go? It's just gonna go on my shelf. And sure, I have a VCR, but VCRs are coming harder and harder to get. I'm not trying to make an anti-VHS statement here. I want to make it very clear. I am making a statement of, I don't think I'm into this anymore. Let me break it down. For one, while I like collecting VHS, they are enormously cumbersome. They take up a lot of space. I have over 900 VHS plus, and a lot of it is just duplicates and variations. When I moved, it was like 9 boxes worth, and I had even more than I have now. It was a lot. But also, I've picked up quite a few since we moved. So what I'm really trying to say is that they take up a lot of space. And immediately you might be wondering, well, DVDs take up a lot of space. I mean, this Planet of the Apes box set right here is certainly not, the most thin thing in the world, the most easy to carry around, but, at least I get joy out of having that. When I collect, DVDs and Blu-rays, sure, I don't always watch all of them, and sure, I'll watch them on streaming if it's easier than hooking up the player or something like that, but the idea is that I would rather cart around DVDs and Blu-rays than cart around VHS. I'm kind of done collecting VHS. Like, you're still gonna see them. I'm not saying that I quit entirely, but I think this is a turning point in my channel, and I've noticed it in the views, that maybe people aren't attracted to the fact that I collect DVDs and Blu-rays because they came here for VHS. And I think it's kind of impolite for me to mislead that I collect VHS a lot when I really don't care to anymore. I don't know if what I'm saying is correct or the right phrasing of it. I'm recording this raw, and I'm probably gonna just upload the raw file with a few little tweaks, but I'll put it this way. It's more exciting for me to buy a $40 steelbook, which is, yes, more expensive, but it means more to me than a $10 Black Diamond Classics Disney tape or a demo tape. I would rather put my money in thrifting towards these cool DVDs. Like, these Star Trek Collector's Editions. I haven't ever watched Star Trek, but they have cool bonus features, and I might end up liking the films. And that's another habit I need to get through. I need to stop buying things that I've never watched, but the only point I'm trying to make with this is, like, look up here. These are DC. Above there is Marvel. These are the movies that I really enjoy. Superman, Supergirl, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash. I'm obviously not pointing at the right thing, but you get the premise that I would rather be able to accumulate a collection of favorite films than just, oh, this is a cool VHS tape. And yes, I do what I did with VHS tapes, and I have multiple editions of them. I admit it, I have at least 5 copies of the original X-Men trilogy. But at least I like the X-Men films a lot more than I like, say, Escape to Witch Mountain or Robin Hood or Lady and the Tramp. And this isn't about the movies. This isn't anything about that because, it's just about me. It's really about the fact that I think I've grown out of VHS collecting a lot. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old, and I think I'm at the age where it just isn't as interesting to me. Now, if you take me to a Rasputin's and they have a whole aisle of VHS tapes, of course I'm gonna look. It's like, I may never buy it, but it's fun to look. It's fun to see if there is something that I might want to buy. And, sometimes I will bite the apple and I will buy a VHS tape. There's nothing wrong with that. Heck, I won't be surprised if in my future I own the Star Wars original trilogy unaltered on VHS because they haven't done it on DVD. I mean, I know someone who owns the original trilogy on VHS for that reason. I'm not anti-VHS. What I am is, I think, just maturing. I have grown out of the hobby of collecting VeggieTales and Barney and Blue's Clues and Winnie the Pooh, and I'm now trying to replace it. Sorry, camera's going away. I'm now trying to replace it with the hobby of collecting Star Trek, Star Wars, and all these other big films that I really enjoy. I think it's a lot cooler. I mean, there's a huge community of people who collect DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks. And I want to be a part of that community, not VHS collecting. And no, I'm not doing it just to be in a community. I'm doing it because I have a passion for the films. I really like the idea that I can say, oh, Supergirl, let's buy this, and let's look at all the bonus features. And like I said, there are some VHS that are like that, but, you know, this is a film I care about. I'm buying it to watch it. To put it simply, this barely means anything to me anymore. It's a cool edition. I'm probably going to keep it until I have to get rid of it. But let's say, you know, like 5 Mile Creek, I donated a whole lot of them because I don't care. I just don't. Disney VHS collecting isn't really my thing. I'm still going to pick them up. I'm still going to do my collection videos, at least this year, because I know you guys enjoy them. But honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of tapes this year. I've already been considering just packing up the cartoon classics and selling them on eBay. And you know, if they get sold, cool, but if they don't, I'll just donate them somewhere. I'm trying to at least get something back, but if I can't, then I'll just donate them because I don't want them to take up space. Because I'd rather have these. I mean, I'm even at a point where I can't fit more VHS. Like, these shelves down here, let me try to move this. These shelves down here are filled with more VHS. I can't put more DVDs down here. I need to find a way to move things around. And I can't if I'm just keeping all these random little cartoon classics and stuff. Like I said, that's totally fine. You know, it's totally fine to collect what you want to collect. It's perfectly fine. People collect Funko Pops. People collect popcorn buckets, toys, CDs, records. But like any other collector, I don't have a passion for this. I want to collect something different, and I have been collecting something different, and I've been loving it. I love the fact that I can say, here's my favorite movies, and here is how I watch them. I love the idea of going to Half Price Books and being like, oh, here is Tombstone. It's not just a boring VHS, it's a collector's edition director's cut. And yes, I've never watched a director's cut, but this is a lot cooler than, oh, I bought Old Yeller with a Black Diamond Classic spine on it. Yay. Like, this is a lot cooler. So to summarize it, you know, because I said a lot of words, I'm not done VHS collecting in the sense of I won't ever buy another VHS tape. But I'm done in the sense of I don't really want to be considered a VHS collector. It sounds stupid, but I kind of don't. I appreciate everyone who watches my channel for VHS collecting, but it's just not as fun. You can't pick up the new releases like Sonic 3 or Mufasa or Frozen 2 or whatever the case may be on VHS, only on DVD and Blu-ray. And I'm sure that eventually I'm going to change from DVD to Blu-ray and then make all my films on Blu-ray be 4K and etc. But the main point being that I am an adult now, a couple years passed, and I've just noticed a change in my hobby. And I want to find a way to kind of, I guess, state that. Because that's the way it's going to be. And I'll try and make more of these videos because I think it's important to establish who I am and what I'm doing on my channel. But I think on this channel what I'm establishing is that I think it's time to be done collecting VHS as much as I was. Okay, in the attempt I just cut what I said, here is my main point. I loved VHS collecting when I was 4 years old, and I still have a passion for it. I still like picking up cool releases, even if it's just a rarity like a sticker label or a Black Diamond Classics release. But I don't even know if I like that entirely, because I recently picked up Rocket Man, the Disney film that I've barely ever heard of. I just own it on VHS. And I felt like I just picked it up because I'm a VHS collector, not because it was a cool release. And so maybe that was the title and some discussions that kind of made me realize I don't want to do this anymore. You're still going to get VHS and updates, but just not as often. Like, you've seen it, you know, I might pick up one of these titles every 5 months, but I might pick up zero for 5 months. Another part of it, too, is that thrift stores have barely any options. A lot of the thrift stores where I live no longer carry VHS, and the ones that do have a lot more of the common titles that I already have copies of. So, if I had to summarize, I would say this. I'm not done VHS collecting, but I'm done being known as a VHS collector. I collect movies, whatever format interests me, and at this point, it's no longer VHS. If there's a specific tape that I want to pick up, sure, I'll grab it. But I'm also going to be cost assessing, because if it comes down to I could go to the thrift store and pay $10 for this collector's edition of, say, Pollyanna, which is what almost happened the other day. Walked into a store, they had it for $10. Or I could save that money and buy the brand new Captain America on DVD. I'd rather buy the DVD. And yes, it's more expensive, but I enjoy it more. And that puts it simply, that I'm at the point where VHS is no longer a primary expense. It's no longer something that I primarily want to buy. Like I said, I see something cool, it's cheap enough, sure, whatever. You know, add one or two. But if I don't add one or two, don't worry about it, you know? It's been a really fun journey that I've had. And I'm upset that I haven't documented all my videos appropriately. A lot of my older videos when I was younger have been removed from YouTube. And that was my bad. I shouldn't have done that, but I was younger and in hindsight and embarrassed. But I'm still going to keep these videos up. I'm not going to change the channel in terms of how I act or what I do. I'll show off what I collect, because that's what it's called, Prism's Collection Corner. Thank you guys.